Want the hottest takes, boldest insights, and smartest analysis in sports today? Yeah, this is not that. This is Not Impressed with Josh Rosen.
Hi, everyone. This is Josh Rosen with Not Impressed. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. This is my endeavor into the world of podcasting. Episode 1, where I'll be recapping the NBA Finals. Many of you might have been following me at Josh Impressions on X or Instagram or TikTok, wherever you can find me. I've been posting skits for the last few years, so I figured now's the perfect time to start my own show. So thank you guys for subscribing and liking, and I hope you enjoy this first episode where I'll be recapping the NBA Finals as Skip Payless, Bad Dog, Nick Wrong, President Trump, and Stephen A. Goldsmith. Enjoy the first episode, everyone, and thanks for your support. Okay, it is now my turn to unleash and unload on what I just witnessed in the NBA Finals. Congratulations to the New York Knicks. You finally did it. A long, hard, 53-year wait. The drought is over. Allow me to say, I am so happy for all those long-suffering Knicks fans, including my good friend Stephen A. Goldsmith and Stephen A. Smith. I mean, both of you have just got to be elated right now. And I cannot believe what I witnessed throughout those finals. Yeah, we could talk about how the Spurs, and they did choke. The alien proved that he was one giant hoax on disclosure night. He proved that he's got a little bit of LaFraud James in him, LeBrick, as in no clutch DNA, no clutch shot. But in the end, I'm not going to harp on him or De'Aaron Fox, who also gagged. This is about the New York Knicks and that team, and more specifically, that little man, Jalen Big Booty Brunson. And by the way, that nickname that I made up for him, that's no insult. Because I know a lot of people with big booties. Some of them have a lot of girth. Some of them have a lot of tonnage. He's got girth and tonnage in that booty. And he proved that you can have a big booty and be, 6 feet tall with high heels on, because that's what he is. He's about half the size of the alien. He's about 8'6", by the way. Big Booty Brunson. He proved that he's got the clutch gene. I mean, to close out a Game 5 on the road, and by the way, this Knicks team won, 9 road games in a row in the playoffs? Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously. And that's like Michael Jeffrey Jordan-like. That's Tim Tebow-like. That is all-time clutch DNA, which this team has. Mike Brown. Whew. When you talk about gutsy, I mean, this guy went deep into his bag, deep into his bench. In the offseason, everyone said, why would you fire Coach Tibbs and hire Mike Brown? Well, what can Brown do for you? Apparently, he can win you an NBA championship. And he just cemented himself, I believe, into the Hall of Fame. But in the end, you know and I know, this historic playoff run were the Knicks, who were down 2-1 in the first round to the Atlanta Hawks. Seriously, the Atlanta Hawks? They went on to win 15 of their next 16 playoff games with historic comebacks. All-time great playoff run. It was Big Booty Brunson who closed the deal. I've been saying for a couple of years now that SGA, some good ass, with all due respect, he was the greatest player in the world. He did it. He was it. 2-time MVP. He was my guy. But this series changed that. This playoff run changed that. I now say Big Booty Brunson is the best player on the planet. I mean, seriously, after that, 45 points in a closeout game on the road, Jalen Jeffrey Jordan, that's what he was. I mean, oh, my goodness. This guy does it all. He might not have the greatest D, but his shot-making ability is second to none. He was in his bag all series long, all playoff run long. He was the most deserving finals MVP that I can ever recall. That's just a fact. It's just a truth. In the end, the New York Knicks ending this drought and winning the NBA championship, it gives hope. It gives hope to fan bases in every sport, including the Dallas Cowboys, who haven't even been to a conference championship game in over 30 years. But 53 years, whew, most Knicks fans weren't even born. I was covering that team back then. Congratulations. I'm so happy. As Stephen A. Smith would say, Stephen A. Goldsmith, orange and blue skies, stand up New York. This is your time. This goes down, in my eyes, as one of the greatest New York sports moments in their illustrious history. And they've had a lot of them. Obviously, the Giants beat Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. not once, but twice. What? The Yankees with all their world championships. The Mets in 86. I get it. The Jets, who also are in quite a drought. But you've got hope now. But this one might be the grandest of them all for New York sports fans. So way to go, Big Booty Brunson. I was not impressed with the alien, or Victor Who's Your Mama, Victor Dalai Lama, but I was impressed with that team led by that guy, Big Booty Brunson. It's your turn, New York. So stand up. This is Skip Payless, unloaded and unleashed. So hold on a minute, guys. Congratulations, Brew, to the New York Knicks on clearly and obviously being the best team in the NBA, not just this playoff, but probably in the last 10 seasons. You know what I mean, buddy? I first guessed it, by the way. Obviously, I said Jalen Brunson was going to one day win the Finals MVP, and he was going to be the leader on the best team in the NBA. You know what I mean? Now, in terms of my pyramids, Jalen Brunson is now on a tier just below Patrick LeVon Mahomes. You know what I mean? But, so listen, KW and Brew, to your point, buddy, the New York Knicks just proved that you can win a championship with a guy who's not Patrick Mahomes or not LeBron Raymond James, the GOAT. I didn't think that was possible. You know what I mean? But KW or Brew, and I think Brew would agree with me, this New York Knicks team wasn't just about Jalen Brunson. They brought in Mike Brown. What can Brown do for you? Reminds me a little bit of Andy Reid. You know what I mean? But listen, buddy. KW, to your point, buddy. And the idea that the New York Knicks just showed that if you're a fan base out there that's been waiting decades for a championship, and you have a guy who's under 6 feet tall, you got a real shot. You know what I mean? Now listen, buddy. Obviously, it wasn't just Brunson. It was Karl Anthony Towns, who a lot of people doubted, buddy. I never did, buddy. You know what I mean? But KW, to your point, Brew, I am so happy and jubilant and overjoyed for all those long-suffering New York Knicks fans. And as you know, we record What's Wrong with Nick Wrong from New York. You know what I mean? So I see those fans all the time. I've seen the suffering on all their faces. So for all of them to finally get the opportunity, can I just say something, guys? Can I make my point? For them to finally get the opportunity to have a parade right here in the city, in Manhattan, that is anything other than egregious, absurd, and as an abomination, buddy. I am so thrilled and so happy for Knicks fans. Obviously and clearly, the Spurs were not ready for the moment. You know what I mean? De'Aaron Fox was an abomination, buddy. You know what I mean? He looked like Josh Allen out there. Wembanyama, who's your mama? You know what I mean? He looked like he was hanging out with the Dalai Lama at the end of those games. You know what I mean? And the idea that we were so quick to put Wemby at the top of the NBA and put him in the same tier as LeBron Raymond James or Nikola Jokic or my Slovenian stepson, Luka Doncic. When all along it turned out that Jalen Brunson was that guy, that just shows that I'm always right. And every other media analyst out there, including Skip Payless, including Bad Dog, including you, Stephen A. Goldsmith, is wrong. Not just wrong, but Nick wrong. You know what I mean? And by the way, buddy, the Kansas City Chiefs, de facto, by way of the Knicks winning the championship, have just secured that they will be dropping banners for the next 29 seasons. Because if you can win a title with Brunson as your best player, obviously that bodes well for Patrick LeVon Mahomes. You know what I mean? Never a doubt, as I always say, as now Taylor Swift says, even though I've tried to trademark that phrase, buddy. You know what I mean? I am impressed, but I will not be impressed until the New York Knicks do what the Kansas City Chiefs do and win 3 out of 4 championships. You know what I mean? Congratulations, Knicks fans. This is your time to celebrate and party. Not like it's 1999, but like it's 1973. You know what I mean? Thanks for listening, guys. Hello, everybody! It's Mad Dog Unleashed! NBA Finals Edition, for crying out loud. Oh, the New York Knicks, including Stevie Smith, are so happy because you finally won a championship, for crying out loud. I mean, it's been 553 years. I was born in the 1500s. I never thought I'd see the Knicks win a title. Unbelievable. But everyone, do me a favor. Take it easy. Take it easy. I mean, the streets are going crazy right now. I can't even get to work, for crying out loud. But let me just say that Jalen Brunson, I didn't believe in this kid. I didn't believe in him for 1 second. I thought to myself, this guy's no Bob Cousy. And I still think Bob Cousy is a much better player, more athletic. But what this kid, Jalen Brunson, showed to me is that he can be at the level of Bob Cousy. He can be at the level of Hal Greer, or Dave Bing, or Dave DeBuscher, or Johnny Havlicek. He's got it. Greatest Knick of all time? I mean, let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. I mean, give me a break. You still got all the Pearl Monroe. You got Walt Clyde Frazier. You got Willis Reed. By the way, speaking of Willis Reed, I took a gummy during the second half of the finals. I was out cold. I didn't know what the heck happened until the morning after, for crying out loud, Stevie. But everyone, I am so happy that Jalen Brunson will now be in the conversation for greatest Knick of all time. Because I saw all those Knicks players back in the 60s and 70s. I was around. In the 90s, you got your heart broken, the finger roll. Charles Smith, for crying out loud. The Bulls broke your heart. So I feel for all you Knicks fans out there. I do. This is an emotional moment. Stevie's crying tears of joy, for crying out loud. Jalen Brunson is playing better than Ricky Rubio. I mean, everyone, take it easy, though. It's one championship. I know you're going to be celebrating. Millions of people at the parade, for crying out loud. I'm not going to be able to get to work in the morning. But enjoy and celebrate this victory, because they don't come around often. Again, I'm not putting Jalen Brunson in the same category as Bob Cousy or Dolph Schayes or Johnny Havlicek or Ricky Rubio or Rajon Rondo or Dave Bing or Hal Greer. Look him up, kids. Hal Greer. But what Jalen Brunson just did is prove that he's at least in the conversation for greatest New York sports athlete of all time. For crying out loud. I'm not impressed with a lot, but I was impressed by what I witnessed from this Knicks team. To win 15 out of 16 playoff games, close it out on the road against Victor Wembanyama, who proved that he's not even George Mikan, for crying out loud. He's not even Kurt Thomas, for crying out loud.
Michael Olowokandi. So everyone, take it easy. I am impressed by what I just witnessed. And congratulations to the New York Knicks, including my good friend, Stephen A. Goldsmith, for crying out loud. Take it easy! Oh! I'm sorry to be a little bit overdramatic right now. It's your boy, Stephen A. Goldsmith. And I promise y'all, I didn't want to come on here and cry. I wrote a nice little soliloquy about my New York Knicks. 53 years. I've been waiting 53 years for this moment. All the heartbreak. Charles Smith. Charles Oakley getting kicked out of the Garden. The Patrick Ewing finger rolls. Getting the number 8 pick when it was Steph Curry, who was number 7. But let me be very, very clear. This is the greatest feeling of my life right now. Even better than when the Dallas Cowboys lose a damn game. These are tears of joy. Let me be very, very clear. These aren't tears of crying. These are tears of joy and jubilation and ecstasy. Because those brothers from New York, stand up New York. Stand up New York. Orange and blue skies. My Lord. Ambidextrous. I thought about writing out a nice little soliloquy. But I said, the hell with that. I'm going to speak from my heart. My Josh heart. What that brother, Jalen Brunson, just showed me is that he is the best damn player in the world right now. The greatest Knick in the world right now. I covered Allen Iverson. The brother was about the same size as Jalen Brunson. And they lost to those brothers from Los Angeles. He stepped over that brother Tyronn Lue, who I got sources and I know very well. But this, I didn't see this coming. I've been waiting 53 years for this. Stand up, New York. Orange and blue skies. My Lord. I feel like I'm dreaming right now. Let me be very, very clear. I've seen some brothers like John Starks who were not box office when it mattered most. And I love that brother. He knows I love him. But this team, Cole Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, if them picks. Yeah, I was dead wrong about that brother, Mikal Bridges. I was dead wrong. Jose Alvarado. See, this New York Knicks team never quit. Stand up, New York. All those brothers, including that brother, Jalen Brunson, prove that they are box office. I was wrong about that brother, Mike Brown, who I doubted. That brother proved he can coach. He proved he's a Hall of Fame coach. For crying out loud. But let me be very, very clear. This is the greatest Knicks team I have ever seen.
Brunson's the greatest New York Knicks player I have ever seen. No disrespect to that brother Patrick Ewing, who I saw holding the Larry O'Brien trophy. I love those brothers. I do. Remember, I wrote for the Philadelphia Inquirer. And I covered that brother AI before AI was artificial intelligence. But to see these brothers, who I doubted, led by Leon Rose, president of basketball operations, Worldwide West, what those brothers did, and dare I say James Dolan, who I've been very critical of in the past. He got on my damn nerves by bringing President Trump to game, I believe it was 3. For them to get the job done. This is what it feels like. This is better than being in South Beach. This is better than being in South Beach. Stand up, New York. Orange and blue skies. I don't even know what to say. I started off this segment crying tears of joy. Well, guess what? I'll be crying tears of joy all summer long in South Beach and in New York City, because I am from Hollis, Queens. Keep that in mind, Hollis, Queens. Orange and blue skies. Stephen A. Goldsmith signing off for the world champion, New York Knicks. That's the end of my soliloquy.
Excuse me. I take full credit for the New York Knicks winning their first championship in 53 years. If Sleepy Joe had been president or Kamala, this team would have been dead. They probably wouldn't even exist as a franchise anymore. But thanks to me, all these Knicks players were super motivated from OG Anunoby. That's why he got the tip in, because of me. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. Okay, this guy was a baby. He was a kitty cat. He was a kitty cat before I was president. James Dolan, tremendous friend of mine, great guy. He even told me, he said, "Sir, without you, this team would not exist." Okay? So, congratulations to the New York Knicks. But I believe that I deserve a piece of that Larry O'Brien trophy. In fact, if it was up to me, I would have won the MVP. I should have won the MVP, the NBA Finals MVP, because I was easily the most valuable person on that Knicks roster. Not even close, frankly. Wasn't even close. I should have won it, and it was totally rigged against me. But congratulations, New York, as Stephen A. Goldsmith would say, orange and blue skies. But congratulations, and once again, I take full credit for this Knicks championship. Wouldn't happen if it wasn't for me. Believe me.
Final thoughts with Josh Rosen. Yes, this is my own voice for those of you that hadn't heard it before. As you can tell by my hat, I'm a huge Miami Heat fan. I've been watching the NBA for 30 years. And in all my time watching, this was one of the best finals I've ever watched. Even though it ended in 5 games, every game came down to the wire. And I'm extremely happy for Knicks fans, particularly my father, who's been waiting 53 years for this moment. So he's no doubt got that Knicks merch on the way, the Knicks championship hat. And I know a lot of diehard Knicks fans. As a Heat fan, it was always easy to clown the Knicks, clown their franchise, clown how they were run, especially as the Heat kept winning titles and making deep playoff runs. But now is your time. Now's your chance to celebrate. This was an awesome run, one you're never going to forget. My favorite championship as a fan of the Heat, was our first. And for many Knicks fans under the age of 53, this is your first. So enjoy it, celebrate it. You don't know when you're going to get back in this situation. We're in an era of the NBA right now where we keep having different champions. It seems like dynasties might be a thing of the past. So congratulations to all my family and friends that are longtime Knicks fans. The Miami Heat will be back in contention soon, but there's nothing like winning a title. It doesn't matter if you were the team that was favored or not. It doesn't matter how much luck was involved or whatever else people want to say. Winning a title is always special, and it's always impressive. Till next time, go Heat. Congratulations, New York Knicks fans.
You've been listening to Not Impressed with your host, Josh Rosen. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite content. Yes! To learn more about the incredible Josh Rosen, be sure to follow him at Josh Impressions on TikTok, Instagram, and X. Yes! Thanks for listening to Not Impressed.